to the Register's report. My name is John Buckley. I'm the Register of Deeds, Plymouth County, and this show is about Plymouth County real estate. Our headline for the month was November recordings follow a typical winter trend. This show is being taped in December, last cable show of the calendar year. Got a few holiday stories to tell, but it's based on the numbers of recordings at the registry in November. So let's go right to the numbers. You're going to see a bar chart of deeds. There were 599 deeds recorded in November, slightly lower than in October. Year to date, we're up about 1%. The other news is mortgages. We have a very high number of mortgages, again, and for the year, 1,242 mortgages in November, slightly less than the mortgages of October, 10% more than the mortgages last November, and year to date, we're trending up 11%. So there are more people taking out mortgages because the rates are starting to come down than there are purchasing properties. We always follow foreclosures since the meltdown in 2008. A lot of people thought refinancing was great, and then they found themselves refinanced over the value of their property, called it property being underwater. But much better now. The foreclosure market is very small. Only 4 foreclosure deeds in all of Plymouth County for November, less than the 5 in October, but 67% less than the 12 in November of last year. In year to date, we're down 34%. Beware, however, how easy it is to get yourself in trouble. Only takes a couple missed loan payments. So we have this document called a foreclosure notice that we also track very closely. A foreclosure deed is usually when you've lost your property, usually for non-payment. Foreclosure notice reminds you you're in trouble, and I strongly advise anyone with difficulty to reach out to a federal housing counselor. I have a great guest coming on in the next segment of the show, Bill Callahan, a longtime realtor, talking about options within the real estate community and ways to prepare to become an owner in the future. So pay attention. So welcome back to the Register's report. My name is John Buckley. This show is about Plymouth County real estate. It's my last show of the month. However, the summary of the year will be in January. This is the second segment of the show. We always do educational components here. I have a great long-time realtor who hopefully can give you some tips of things you should be looking to do in the new year, because here it is. It's right upon us. William Callahan.
Thank you, John.
Welcome.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So nice to be
I
here.
won't see you for New Year's either, but 2 great holidays.
Well, you ring in the new year and I'll be thinking of you.
Yeah, right.
2026.
I bought,
Who would have thought?
I bought my wife, we're going to do a trip in the spring,
Yeah.
a gift certificate to the Pink House.
Oh,
And that made me think of you.
yeah. Yeah. Pink House is a wonderful, in Savannah,
Yeah,
as you know, we have a house there.
yeah.
And I like the tavern. I like to go down to the tavern underneath.
I'll try that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, you don't have to, you wait in
Oh,
line.
in the,
Yeah,
in
in
the
the Pink
Pink
House. It's the basement of the Pink House.
okay,
And you don't need a reservation there.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll try both.
So this is a big year
both.
coming up. Can I tell you 2 things?
Sure, go ahead.
I'm not going to do the most important one first. But I will celebrate in July, sometime like 7 or something, 40 years in the real estate business.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot.
Seen a lot. Seen a lot,
Lot
a
of
lot.
cycles and
Yeah,
stories and
yeah,
oh my God, it's
yeah.
been
I've
weird.
seen some down times, seen a lot of good times, been very fortunate,
yeah.
very fortunate. And in August 29th this year, we will celebrate 40 years of marriage,
Good for you.
Jane and I. Big year. Big year. So when I started in 1986, I quit my job, went to work in July. I had no work, got married, and hadn't have any money either. So I ended up at the track for a couple of years trying to make money and sell real estate.
Yeah.
But now we're looking forward to 2026.
What has changed the most?
What's changed most is listings, days on the market,
Really?
and price adjustments to the days on the market. And now I'm getting very aggressive with houses that are high, priced high. It still holds true. If you price it too high, it's going to sit. So now I'm in kind of a game where I'm trying to find the right price. And 2 listings I did price too high. 3, Fall River and then 2 in Brockton. So I'm trying to get it at a right price for people, traffic coming in. Mm-hmm. I think there are going to be opportunities as properties stay in the market. The inventory will increase a little bit, and I think there will be some opportunities for the people that are ready to buy. The interest rate's cheap? No, they're still 6% plus, but there's opportunity. There's going to be opportunities out there.
Yeah, I watch a lot of the cable shows on real estate, listen to Bloomberg News, and I'm not sure there's one solution.
There is not one solution. So listings are down mostly because the other factor is that someone like myself to move, which we did move, but to trade a 3% mortgage for a 6% mortgage doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe for someone that's moving up and families getting bigger and bigger, but someone like me that might be downsizing, it's a more difficult decision. Why don't I stay here for a little while? Although maybe I can tell your audience about the accessory dwelling unit.
Sure.
That's a new law that the governor's passed. I think we talked a bit about it. So we have our accessory dwelling unit now framed and the windows in. And we sold our house to our daughter and son-in-law, and we are now, they own the house. The thing we're building, they're going to own it.
You got tenants.
We're tenants. We actually have a life estate.
Okay.
In that, just in the building. We don't own any land. But the important thing, and I think I said this, I'm going to say it again because I want people to realize it. To get out of this housing crunch, it's going to be very hard to build 100,000 houses. But this accessory dwelling unit, by me building 1 unit, that's 1 unit. I sold a unit to my daughter, that's two units. She sold a house in Stoughton, that's 3 units. And those people either moved or sold something, that's 4 units in one transaction.
Right.
Early on, there was some fascination. Now, people are coming to us and say, will you help me?
Show me how to do it.
Will you get me started?
Yeah.
And of course, Jane and I are happy too. We've shared our plans with a number of people. The people across the street, they want to do it for their parents, Gina's parents. But if anybody is interested in building an accessory dwelling unit, you start with your building inspector, and you go and ask. You need to know what the setbacks are, what the building code is, and that's where you start.
Your local
Building inspector.
zoning laws.
Who is the zoning enforcement officer, correct? Yeah.
Very interesting.
And by now, they're pretty much, there's enough activity going on that they're more informed than they were in July. So I think you're going to see more people taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I think there's an effort going on by communities now to look at surplus land owned by the town
Yeah,
to move. I know in Boston, in particular, for those
that's right, correct.
places that have
Yeah,
buildable lots or that could be buildable
right.
lots. We just need more housing.
We need more housing, we need more, rental units really. And then there's always, it doesn't hurt to have a slice of that 20% in some cases that it's affordable, which is the median income for the town or city.
Yeah.
And this taking advantage of this, well, I don't know if you've been by the one in Brockton on Montello Street, down by the train station. It is huge, and it's you could throw a rock to the train station.
Well, I go down that way.
It's Lynch's Towing, the old Lynch's Towing.
Sure.
And I think it's 5 stories.
Down Campbell.
Campello, correct. Yeah, Montello Street and Campello, correct. Right next to the train station.
Right, I have
Right.
seen it.
Yes.
It's a good number of units.
Wow, it's a lot of units.
Well,
Yeah.
my thing has been throughout this process, home ownership.
Yes.
Because with an ADU, you own the unit,
Yeah.
right?
Well, no, I don't own it.
Oh, yours is.
I have a right to
rental
live
unit.
there. I have
You
a
have a
right to
lease.
live there.
So the building itself
My
is
daughter
your
owns it,
daughter's.
and my son.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of it more as a.
Which is another thing. I'm glad you brought that up
more as
because
a module home.
when you do this, if you have a family, so I have 4 daughters, you really need to talk about that because now I'm spending, a few $1,000s on her property, and her
Right.
increasing the value of her house, and it's our money, and you have to talk to the other family members to say, okay, we're going to do this, and in terms of estate planning, you
Right.
really need to have that discussion. When we did.
I've spoken to a few people lately that have moved from their main home in Brockton to Oak Point,
Yes,
downsizing,
very popular spot.
but they own the building itself.
Correct, and they have a lease to the land.
Right.
Yes,
So there's going to be a lot of different solutions before we can say we've met the need.
right. I think it's hard to build. The cost of construction is so high. It's hard to build housing for that entry-level buyer.
Yeah.
But if people that are 55 and older have a place to go to,
Yeah.
it creates that housing, that succession
It
of housing
one-
opportunity.
Opens one up.
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
And as I gave you my example, you might be third in line, but it's as enough people move, there's something. The one in Stoughton was a small cape that was 500,000.
So here we are. It's going to be January. Everyone has a New Year's resolution. For a lot of people, it's going to be to find better housing. What is your advice to have them prepare to make that move?
Yeah.
What kind of financial things, emotional things, all the things you do to get ready when that move is allowable to you, how you can jump on it.
Yeah. You really need to get a loan officer and start making plans. How much to put aside? Is there any opportunities in terms of first-time buyer programs? And they give good advice, and they counsel people. They will know if you're not ready. They'll help you 6 months, 8 months from now to get ready, to be ready.
Yeah.
And you don't have to start with $1 million home. You start with a condo. You know, I'm selling a condo in Brockton, Fairway Oaks for $220,000.
Wow.
Is it? I'm sorry, 240,000. But that's an opportunity.
Home ownership,
Home ownership.
equity building,
And you build that equity.
wealth building.
You know, so I've been in 4 houses. This is my 4th house. I did 3 in 10 years. My father thought I was nuts. So I had certain reasons for that, but I wasn't nuts. But people, you're going to have more than one house. So get in a house and start that home ownership.
Yeah.
And make the improvements that you do, and then you move
Yeah.
3 or 4 years from now, 5 years.
Yeah, don't be afraid if it's not perfect.
It's not going to be perfect, and don't expect it to be perfect. Perfect is on TV, HGH, whatever it's called. That's perfect. Don't expect that. And there's so much opportunity now. And I told you this story with my daughter, how she rehabbed the ranch house. You know what the young kids do now? They go on YouTube. That TV, not YouTube TV, but YouTube. And they learn how to change cabinets and change plumbing. And so DIY, do it yourself. Stay close to their loan officer. You can have more than one. You can get 2 opinions. You can go to a local bank. Save some money. That's hard. It's hard in these days to save, but save as much as you can. And you can do it. And a lot of people have done the very same thing.
So if you have your money in CDs that come due at different times, how is that dealt with?
Well, CDs, you might have to cash the CD, but a lot of people have 401ks, and you can borrow against your 401k.
Okay.
And there is, you do have to pay a tax when you're taking it out. But that might be the easiest way to do it, so you're not spending the money.
Right.
The money's, it's in a retirement account. You're not going to go spend it.
Yeah.
And then if you have an opportunity to buy a house, then it's worth it to make that sacrifice.
Right.
Because you're investing,
Right.
it is retirement money, but you're investing in something that's going to be worth more in 5 years.
Yeah, a lot of people have their interest in buying a house, but their money's kind of not set in one account, ready to go.
You have to have it set, and you got to be committed to saving and putting it away, and it'll compound. It works for you. It just takes time. You can't do it in a month. Maybe you need a year. Who knows? And maybe you need to get out of an apartment and move home for a year and accelerate the savings. That's a very popular way. Yes.
What do you think the future is besides ADUs? How are we going to get builders back in the game? Because you've done some building in the past.
Yeah.
And
I think you're going to see like townhouses, triplexes, things like that, townhouses and condos. I think the zoning in certain cities and towns will start to allow that. More condensed zoning, which is part of that community, that
Right.
MBTA communities have.
right,
So I think you're going to see more of that. Single-family housing on an acre or 2 acres of land is not the best use of the land. I get it, and I have that house, but now more and more you're going to see changes in zoning, more condensed zoning, more housing units on an acre of land.
right. And that has to happen at the state and the city level.
Correct. The whole thing about certain towns not allowing housing is, it's got to change. You got to have a new attitude, because people, even young professionals that are making good wages, can't find housing.
No, it's,
Nurses, the hospitals in Boston can't find help because they can't get there because there's no housing.
right,
And that's one of the reasons they made the train go to Fall River, New Bedford,
right.
to bring people, from that far away to work in those hospitals.
And use land around
Correct.
the trains.
Correct. Yes, take advantage of it. You don't need a car if you can step out your back door and get on a train.
So give us some final words of advice as we enter 2026, which we never thought would come.
My final words of advice are to be conservative in your thinking. Be, not conservative. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about, watch your money, save your money. Don't be obligated to a lot of things like cars and boats and all that stuff. Be conservative on that side, on your financial side, and be positive and work hard and take care of your family. And those are the things that are important right now.
I want to thank Bill Callahan for the great job he did in describing how to be prepared to own ownership, how to be prepared to with your savings and all that, and an option maybe that will fit some people about an ADU. Great information. You always have to be paying attention to be a homeowner. But in this segment of the show, we always do something a little lighter in nature. Some of the great holidays for the month, particularly Christmas and Hanukkah. I'm going to give you a couple Christmas stories. There's a fellow by the name of Edward Rowe Snow. He lived in Marshfield. He was a historian, an author, wrote books about pirates and buccaneers, but he was also known as a flying Santa. He would fly over the islands and drop gifts to the children of the island lighthouse keepers. A strong preservationist of the islands, and there's a plaque in his name on George's Island in recognition of his service. The next person is probably more well known in the Brockton area. James Edgar was a department store owner. He was an immigrant from Edinburgh, Scotland. And he had property on Main Street, and he dressed up on occasion as sea captains, George Washington, and others to attract purchasers. When a cartoonist, Edward Nast, came up with a drawing of a jolly Santa Claus, James Edgar took up the cause, dressed up as Santa Claus, and to attract people to his store, and people came away as far away as Providence, Rhode Island. He did it to promote Christmas and the enjoyment of children. And it began the tradition of department store Santa Clauses. Every store you go in, every picture you see of a Santa Claus trying to take pictures with young kids all came from James Edgar. It's highlighted in the annual Brockton Holiday Parade. There's a city park named after him over in the southern end of downtown, James Edgar Playground. It's certainly a well-known story. A lesser-known story is Resident Pheasant, another part of Plymouth County in Marshfield, a section called Brant Rock. He had a tower, and it was a transatlantic radio tower, and he broadcast information long before other stations did that. So he was a Canadian-born engineer. He ran the first two-way transatlantic radio broadcast between Brant Rock and Scotland. Later on Christmas Eve, he broadcast a program where history was made. He produced a radio broadcast which included Christmas music and the religious hymn Silent Night. It was heard as far away as the Caribbean. He had previously worked for the Thomas Edison and the National Weather Service, but he's very well known for bringing this idea, which was later copied and became a well-recognized individual. His achievement continues to be recognized by the town of Marshfield and other great organizations. Our last of the Plymouth Colony records, actually our next record, ever since the Plymouth 400, the 400th anniversary of the arrival of the colonists in the Mayflower, we've been promoting a colony record. And it's important to know that before Plymouth County, Plymouth Colony was started, and it was based on the arrival of the Mayflower. A lot of things done by the Mayflower colonists were later copied all over the world. In this case, they addressed the need for a will. A person was very ill, and they allowed the person to declare, while he was still competent, his desire to dispose of his property. They needed two independent people to be part of his will, who had to be, at the time, from the same town as Marshfield, to make sure that it was a fair and equitable operation. It's magnificent because this occurred in 1645, long before a lot of things were built or even thought of. I want to thank Brockton Cable Access for helping me do this show. Michelle Hebsche has been my main producer. Helping her today was Kayla Crispin of the Southeastern Mass Regional Vocational School, who is a student in the art of broadcasting and is learning as she goes and has done a great job today. Listen to her name in the future. The vocational schools offer some incredible opportunities to people for trades as well as things like this. And we always try to work together to promote each other. So thank you for joining me on the show. Hope you have a great and happy Christmas, a great and healthy New Year, and we'll see you next month.